When I was 28 years old, I burnt myself out massively. So much so that I actually ended up in hospital in the emergency room, pumped full of adrenaline and God knows what. And on that day, I made the decision that I was going to learn everything I possibly could about burnout, the psychology of burnout, the physiology of burnout. For very selfish reasons, I didn't want to fuck myself up a second time. But I also didn't want other people to fuck themselves up. I wanted to find out what causes burnout and what doesn't cause burnout so that I could be of some kind of service to some kind of people, me included. And what I've realised, and what I did realise a couple of years later, was that one of the biggest mistakes people make when they're trying to get themselves out of burnout or approaching burnout is listen to mainstream advice. You see, burnout has two components, conscious level stuff and unconscious level stuff. But here's the thing, people focus on the conscious level stuff, the behavioural level stuff. But burnout is not conscious. You don't consciously burn yourself out. Something unconscious happens, an unconscious program, an unconscious pattern, an unconscious story, an unconscious belief that causes the burnout. And can cause it many, many times if you don't remove that thing from your unconscious. You see, people will go out and take the advice to take a holiday or not work so hard or have a mental health day. And whilst these things are good, they're not good if something underneath the surface of consciousness is bubbling away, ready to bite them on the arse, like it was with me. Let's put it like this. Imagine that you take a holiday, but underneath that is guilt. That's what happened to me. You take a day off, but underneath that is guilt. What's going to happen? The guilt is going to pump as much adrenaline and cortisol, aka stress hormones, into your nervous system as it would if you didn't have that time off. In fact, because you feel guilty for having that time off, guilty because you're letting people down, guilty because you're taking a break, you're doing more harm than good. So don't just listen to people who tell you need to change your behavior if you want to stop burnout happening or wrestle yourself out of burnout. You need to deal with what is underneath the surface of consciousness, below the level of language and logic. You need to get underneath that and know what is happening at an unconscious level that is causing you to take these unhealthy behaviors. What is driving this unhealthy behavior that has gotten you into this place in the first place? Once you take that out, once you remove the story, remove the program, remove the belief that makes you feel something like guilt for having time off, then you've got a chance of recovery. Trust me, I've been there. I'm on the other side many, many years ago, and it's sustained happiness and healthiness. It can do for you too.